Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining me this lovely morning. It's really nice to see you guys. Let me know where you are watching from down in the comments. If you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble. Also, let me know what part of the world you are watching from. My name is Brian. I am a cinematographer located here in the Chicagoland area. Please check out my website right here at brianreyesfilm.com, where you can learn more about me and what I do. There's also I also have a blog on there, and I'm working on building a community where people can get together and just share ideas, share resources, hire one another, or even just create something really cool together. Anyways, check it out, Brian website or brianreyesfilm.com, and I'll see you guys on the website hopefully soon. Anyways, honestly, like this morning, I thought I was gonna have time to kind of prep, but like I was trying to also fix some things that happened during the last live stream. I'm trying to streamline everything, and it's been really tough because I keep changing the setup, and I'm busy like all the time, and so everything always usually comes down to like the very last minute. And so, anyways, without further ado, let's get right into today's topic, this morning's topic. So, I get asked, how do you find things to talk about? Like, you go live often. I'm trying to do it every day, every single day in the mornings, because I want to get you guys before you go to work. And that way I can, get up early, do the live stream, give you some tech news, and then I can actually start working. So, yeah, I was saying this in the other stream. Like, I get my news through Google Chrome. What I do is I open a new tab on Google Chrome, and then I just start scrolling. It shows me like the Discover page, and it just shows me a whole bunch of articles, stuff that I might be interested in, which has been working pretty well. Like, let's see, the first thing on here is usually Blackmagic. Anything coming out of Blackmagic, any information or news coming out of Blackmagic Design. Not Blackmagic, the Blackmagic, whatever, I don't know, witchcraft or whatnot, but like Blackmagic Design, the company. So let's see, the first thing up on here is the A10 Mini Extreme ISO G2 in the loop. So that's a YouTube video. That's a new switcher that Blackmagic announced, and honestly, it looks amazing. It's got super, super, super professional, like really high-end features in a small little switcher. Like the one that I have, it's a little bit bigger. The one that I have is the A10 Mini Pro, which, first they came out with the A10 Mini, which was cool. It's all right. It's just a standard HDMI switcher. And then they came out with the A10 Mini Pro, which was the next level up, because now you can record to an SSD. You can stream from within the ATEM. So, it started leveling up. And then, so I went and I bought the A10 Mini Pro for some gigs that I was getting for streaming. I was getting these streaming gigs. And then, I bought it brand new, paid full price. And then they came out with the A10 Mini Pro ISO, which would have been even better because you get all the ISO recordings. So what's ISO? It's each isolated input gets recorded on its own file. Like it gets its own recording. So each camera or each HDMI source gets its own individual recording, whereas the non-ISO version, it records the program feed, so it records all of your cuts and whatnot. But anyways, that's besides the point. You guys were wondering, or some of you were wondering, how I get my information, how do I figure out, how do I continue to have things to talk about? There's always going to be something to talk about, especially in the tech world, because tech is always advancing. Like filmmaking tech it's always advancing. Cameras are getting smaller. Lenses are getting bigger. you know, and you know, focus, autofocus is always improving, which finally, this is something that has finally happened. Something that I've been wanting and waiting for a very long time. Something that I've been holding off for a long time, and I was hoping it would happen. I felt like it would happen someday, but I never thought that would be. It was okay. So it hasn't like officially happened like the way I want it to happen, but it's happening. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And anyways, so yeah, that's what I do. I go through my feed and I scroll through and I check out articles like there's a Sennheiser MKH 8018 stereo shotgun mic. Yeah, I'm not really a sound person, so there's new Blackmagic Pixis accessories, and which is pretty interesting. It's kind of like I use this news to kind of gauge where the industry is going. Rumored Nikon Z5 Mark II camera specifications. We were talking about that yesterday. Sometimes I get not just tech stuff, but also like filmmaking stuff. A Minecraft movie stars and director unpack its songs and Napoleon Dynamite references. What? That's interesting. That's weird. I was just actually talking about Napoleon Dynamite at the network meeting. Real quick, I'm gonna go check out the chats and see what is going on. All right, Rumble, nada. YouTube, nada. Facebook is a little slow. I don't know. Maybe I got to change the bit rates or something. Because I am streaming to 3 platforms. Maybe I'll just cut one off. Which one should I cut off? Rumble, maybe? Maybe I'll just cut Rumble off. Okay, so let's see what else is in here. We got political stuff. Don't want to get into that because people are so sensitive. Headphones. Parallel editing. So yeah, there's a lot of parallel editing, what it is and how it is used in film. So that's like an article about filmmaking, and parallel editing is really cool. Well, it's one of my favorite movies is Memento, and I've seen it like a million times. Not exactly a million, but I want to say we're probably nearing the double digits as to how many times I've seen it. Because just the storytelling part of it is just insane. Like watching everything unfold as if you yourself had this memory problem. It's just really, really cool. And then I was watching some like behind the scenes or interview footage of Christopher Nolan when he was talking about how that movie was put together. It was like parallel. It was like parallel editing, right? You go from one, you start at the beginning and then you start at the end and you just go back and forth until you like meet in the middle. So that's pretty cool. That's like one of my favorite movies. So anyways, if whether that article means that, who knows? Let's see what else we got here. Computer stuff. What is this? I don't know what that is. It's a new lens. I've never heard of this brand. Moonlit Magic. Songraw's 50mm 1.2 lens makes its grand entrance. Google has its own Pokédex now. Whatever that means. some filmmaking stuff. Jesse's final scene in the Breaking Bad universe confirmed a 7-year-old theory about Saul Goodman. Those are pretty fun to read. Let's see, iPhone stuff. So a lot of tech stuff and a lot of movie stuff. Camera tech, phone tech. Anything else good in here? Best microphone for rap in 2025. Should I talk about that? What is this? Ford V10 swapped Lincoln Continental, finally drivable. Whoa, that's interesting. Honestly, speaking of Lincolns and swaps and V10s, not necessarily V10s, but something that I've been thinking about. It's like when I decide to start doing something to my car, whether it's like the Lincoln or if I buy another car to have fun with, it's like what am I gonna do? So some ideas were like, okay, what if I made the Lincoln full electric and made it like a really fast electric car? Another idea was, okay, what if, so my Lincoln has like over 200,000 miles on it. And it's still running strong, but eventually that motor is gonna just quit. So then I'm thinking, like, what do I do when it does? I was also thinking about putting a Mustang, a V8 in there or something, and make it a rear-wheel drive. So just some ideas. Anyways, that's how I get my news. That's how I, keep up with all the technology news and whatnot. But anyways, so let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is, first and foremost, let's celebrate 600 YouTube subscribers. I've been on YouTube for a very long time. And I've been on YouTube for many, 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 many years. Since it first came out back in, I think, 2004. 2004, I think, is when YouTube first came out. And I was on it right away. And I wasn't making any videos. I was just checking it out. And I thought it was really interesting and really cool. People uploading videos to a website. And then, I had my camcorder. I started, like, messing around, making my own videos. But this is while I was in Iraq. So I made like these vlogs in Iraq where it's like day-to-day stuff, and I have no idea where the footage went. I'm not sure where it went. I digitized everything because everything was on mini DV tapes. So I digitized everything, and then from there, like, I went through computer after computer, and then from, like, I have no idea where all the original files went. The tapes. I know I have a tape in the garage. If it's still good, if it's still readable, I have no idea. But yeah, I've been on YouTube for quite some time. I've never really tried to gain subscribers, like, intentionally. It was always just like, okay, just post. I make something and I just post it. If something that I was proud of and I wanted to share with everyone, and I would just post it. And, I knew what I needed to do in order to gain subscribers, but, like, it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. Trying to do YouTube intentionally is a lot of work. Like, that's what I've been doing now. Now I'm actually trying to be more intentional about it, and so I've gained. Ever since doing so, I've gained. I don't know. I think I started being more intentional in the last 100 subscribers, and so, from like I finally hit 500. And it was like, I don't remember when I hit it, but I'm like, I need to be more intentional. I want to do YouTube, and I want to actually get paid for doing YouTube. And I used to be monetized on YouTube before they changed their requirements. Like, they didn't really have any requirements for monetization. So I used to get paid on YouTube a long time ago. All I did was had to sign up to be a YouTube partner, and then it was activated, and I started making money. I think I hit $75 before they changed the requirements. They added the requirements of needing I think it was like, at the time, I think it was like 3,000 or something subscribers or whatever. And then I think it dropped down to 1,000 subscribers and watch time views and all this stuff. So then it almost became like night and day. Like overnight, not night and day. Overnight, it became like unattainable for me, for someone like me, because I was like really, really small at the time. I probably had like 100 or something subscribers, or 200. I don't know. Who knows? Um, but yeah, over the years, I finally reached 500, and then I'm like, I need to be more intentional about this if I want to do this as a career. And so here we are, 600 subscribers, you know, and we're 400 away from getting 1,000 subscribers. And my goal is to hit 1,000 in like 2 months. If I can get 1,000 in 2 months, again, I'm more intentional about it now. And so I'm just going to push out content like crazy. And this is the kind of content that you're going to be seeing from this channel. So we're going to be podcasting, live streaming, and we're going to be talking about like tech news, filmmaking tech news, right? Anything going on in the filmmaking world, you know, a little bit here and there about movies and stuff, but mostly camera tech, anything related to filmmaking, any tech related filmmaking stuff. So with that, Blackmagic Design, one of my favorite companies that make filmmaking equipment like cameras. Do I have any? I got my Blackmagic camera over there. I've got a Blackmagic ATEM switcher. I've got 2 Blackmagic video assists. I've had 2 other Blackmagic cameras, which were great. I had 3 other Blackmagic cameras. I had the micro cinema camera. I had the Pocket 4K, the Pocket 6K Pro. I have the Pocket 6K right there. And I've used the Ursa Mini Pro 12K. I've used the Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2. Trying to think if I have used or owned any other Blackmagic equipment. But anyways, Blackmagic it's just an amazing company. What Blackmagic does is like they take all of these tools that you would find in high-end environments in broadcast and film and make it in a way that it becomes affordable for the independent filmmaker, for the smaller guys, independent, I guess, media companies, you know, because I'm starting a media company. I've had Maverick Media for quite some time, but now like I've taken it different directions here and there. It used to be like a video production company that provided video production services, and then it became, you know, I had a bad experience with the client, and so then it became strictly like social media content for the car scene. So Maverick Media, I changed the font to like a race type font, and then it became Maverick Media, as in like Maverick Media, the car scene Maverick Media, right? So we make car content, and then I decided to do like a branch out a different brand for all the corporate and commercial stuff. And so, but I still have the Maverick Media, you know, corporation, and now it's like after being around, I've been on movie sets, I've done the corporate video stuff, I've done events and weddings and stuff, and what else have I done? I've shot commercials, and I've worked with so many people in different areas. I've worked for like the TV stations, and I got to experience that as well. So I've been all over the place, you know, because I like everything media, so I like to check different things out. And now it's like I kind of this vision or whatever I have is kind of unraveling to what Maverick Media could be. And now it's like I know I want to say I'm like 90% sure what I want to do. Maybe closer to 100, maybe like 98% sure what I want to do. And that's what I'm working on right now, is building this media network of just content machines and building communities. And so this is one avenue of that. So this is what we're doing right here. This is just one avenue. There's going to be more. I'm going to bring more people on board, and it's just going to be insane. And so just a little like what to expect. But I have, so I went off on a crazy tangent right there, but I'm just, the reason why this has become like, where is it? I thought I had something open. Anyways, it's not. So Blackmagic has made it possible for the smaller guys to build something like that because of the equipment. The equipment is so affordable, it's easy to use, and it's just like, honestly, you can. It's just crazy. And not only is it affordable and easy to use, but Blackmagic gives you things that other companies charge you for. They give you things for free that other companies are charging an arm and a leg for. It's just insane. Insane. So, Blackmagic had an announcement update on a lot of stuff that's coming out from them. So let me go over to the website. And here we go. We got website right there. Blackmagic Design. I used to check this website every single day, waiting for the news of a new box style camera, waiting for the news of a new Ursa mini camera, waiting for news of like, oh, we added this feature in this, camera or whatever. There's a new update for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras. So a lot of close colleagues know me that I'm like a Blackmagic fanatic, and it's not because they're affordable, but they look good. They look amazing. I used side by side. I did a gig side by side with Sony FX3 and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 6K Pro, and the client was just amazed at the image quality of the Blackmagic camera. It just looked so good. They were like, wow, it looks amazing. It looks like it's, a real movie. And I get that a lot with my footage. You can do the same thing with the Sonys, which obviously, Sony's huge in cinema. You've got the Sony Venice. The Sony FX3 made a huge impact in the filmmaking realm. With the movie The Creator. I haven't seen it yet, but when they were spitting out that The Creator was shot with the FX3, I'm sure FX3 sales just skyrocketed. And this is just a marketing thing that companies do. It's like, But anyway, Sony's doing really, really good in the filmmaking space because of the Venice. They just released. I don't know if it's released, but they announced that little tiny extension for the Venice, which is crazy. So let's say Blackmagic has the micro cinema camera. It's kind of like that size for the Venice. So it's an extension of the Venice. So it's still connected to the Venice, but it essentially it's like the sensor. It's just a sensor in the body, and then I'm not sure how the technology works. I haven't dug deep into it yet. But maybe I will if you guys want me to. Let me know in the comments. But today, we're going to talk about Blackmagic because they got a lot of cool updates coming up. So first and foremost, they announced the Blackmagic Pixis 12K, and it's only $6,595. 16 stops of dynamic range recording. So the Pixis is an interesting camera. Very, very interesting. It's a full frame. It's a full frame camera, which is cool. A lot of cameras are moving towards bigger sensors. A lot of camera manufacturers are moving towards bigger sensors. I could care less how big the sensor is, but of course, they're gonna say bigger is always better. But is it? There's a lot that goes on when you're shooting with a big sensor. Overheating can happen. A lot of data. you know, so then you're going to need expensive cards. You're going to need fast cards, fast media. So yeah, that's the thing with that. But anyways, it's still a great camera, beautiful image quality. You put a nice lens in front of it, and it's gonna look great. DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci is an amazing piece of editing software. DaVinci Resolve 20 is going to be released. Right now, it's still in beta, but there's a lot of features in there that you're going to want to, that are just going to make life easier. Like, let's see. There's a bunch of new features. Let's open it up real quick and just see what kind of stuff we're getting. All right, so DaVinci Resolve 20. Right now, it's in beta. Hollywood's #1 post solution. So within DaVinci Resolve, you can do all these things without needing additional software, like other programs. So you can edit, you can color, you can do audio, high-end audio work, and Fusion, which is VFX stuff for, you know, tracking and whatnot. I use Fusion a lot for tracking subjects or replacing something, replacing a sign, covering something up, yada, yada, yada. Multi-user collaboration with Blackmagic Cloud. That's one thing I like about this is like you can integrate, you can work on a project and another person somewhere else in the world can also work on that project together without needing to like update timelines, or here I just worked on the timeline, I put it up in, you know, in the drive, in the cloud drive, and then download it, and then with it, it's pretty seamless. I've used it. It's nice. So you're editing stuff, cutting stuff, coloring, Fusion, all that stuff, audio, really cool audio stuff. Let's see, media delivery. You can upload directly to YouTube, Vimeo. You can send it straight to like frame.io if you want. But what I'm really more interested in is what are the new updates for DaVinci Resolve 20. So this is hardware that go along with DaVinci Resolve. I have the speed editor. The speed editor is awesome when you're trying to put together a cut really fast. So you got the scroll wheel, which is really cool because you can just really quickly just scrub through. And then you got your ins and outs, your cut points, yada yada. You know, cut just the import just the audio or import just the video, and you got different sizes of it. Coloring stuff, coloring panels. I haven't used any of the coloring panels yet. I want to, but I haven't had a project where I needed to sit down and just really focus on coloring. You know, audio panels, consoles. I haven't used those either. You can do everything you can do on these panels, and you can do within the software. This is just a physical device that help you control what's going on in the software. But let's go. What I want to see is, let's go to support. Can we go to support? Oops, what did I do? Okay, here we go. So let's just go back to here. Let's go to support, and here we're gonna find the updates. Here, read more. Here, there's the free version, which is DaVinci Resolve 20. That's that one there. And then the paid version is DaVinci Resolve Studio 20. So if it says Studio, that's the paid one. If it doesn't say Studio, that's the free one. If you have Studio, you download the non-Studio, you got the wrong one. Okay. So, and if you have the regular one, the non-Studio, but you install the Studio version, then again you have the wrong one. So let's see what we got. Should I check? I wonder. Let's see. Let me read. So this is the installation. Key features: improved keyframing with dedicated curve view and timeline drawer, voiceover tool with record and monitor options, import Blackmagic Cloud shared folders to media pool. AI IntelliScript creates timelines with a user-provided script. A lot of this stuff is probably going to be confusing because of the terminology or whatnot. So let's see. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff here. One thing I like, animated subtitles with the highlights or animate spoken words. So before you used to have to get a paid app for that. Now it comes with within DaVinci. There's I know there's an audio. I'm not an audio engineer or a professional at that. A professional at that. So audio becomes tricky for me in post production. I can get by just fine, but sometimes like it's still. But I know there's like a where is it? Fairlight page. So there's an audio assist automatically creates a finished mix. So EQ and level match. Let me see real quick. So now you don't have to worry about like, oh, the levels of this or that or mixing this with that, and it's like what I would, or making sure that it's good for YouTube, good for whatever platform you're putting it on, right? Because every platform has a specific audio requirements as far as levels, compression and all that stuff. So what I would do was, once I finish the project, once it's completely done, then I go to the editing, and then, or the audio, the Fairlight page, and then I create a bounce mix track or bounce track. I bounce the mix to a new track, which combines everything, all the audio tracks. It combines everything to one track. And then you can right click that track, and then you can analyze the audio. So you right click it, analyze it, and then it's going to say, hey, what do you want me to analyze it for? For YouTube, for Netflix, for, television standards. What do you want me to analyze for? So, and then I select YouTube. I pretty much send everything as if it were going to be on YouTube. So then I set it for YouTube, which is like a -1, -14, -1 peak, I think sample peak or true peak, and -14 sample. I don't know, audio terms, technology, whatever, lingo. And then it gives me the results. So it scans it, it analyzes the whole track, and then it gives me the results. True peak is here, sample peak is here, and then you look at that reading, and then you make your adjustments, right? And then you try to get it as close to YouTube standards as possible, so that way when you upload to YouTube doesn't like compress the crap out of your audio. So what happens is when you upload a video to YouTube and it's too loud, YouTube's going to compress it, and it could possibly sound really bad. So then, but if you upload a video to YouTube and it's not loud enough, so it's like really low, YouTube is not going to lift anything up. So that's going to be up to you. So that's just how I do audio. But now there's like an AI audio assistant that kind of helps with that as well. So there's codecs adjustments, or new codecs or whatever, supports GPU accelerated 265 422 encodes on supported NVIDIA systems. Cool. I don't know what that means. Support for Sony Burano 2.0. Support for Red SDK 8.6. Support for audio normalization for Dropbox presets. I don't really use Dropbox. Okay, so that's the new stuff. There's someone, a YouTuber by the name of Alex Tech, Mr. Alex Tech. He released a video on DaVinci Resolve 20. He goes through all of the new features. He actually shows you through the beta version. So I would recommend you check this video out. And there's timestamps where you can see, some things that are important to you. Like, let's see, one thing that was cool. Because let's check this. Oh, I can't. Maybe I can. Let me see here. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe through the ATEM software. Let me try to open the ATEM software and turn on the audio for the HDMI. Let me send this audio real quick to the ATEM. Blackmagic right there. So now that audio is going to ATEM. And then let me turn on that audio. So we got it there. And then let me make sure it's not too loud. So I'm going to start there. So we're going to play this from the beginning. He goes over a brief overview of everything. Let's check it out. I'm going to turn on subtitles because I can't hear the audio. Only you guys can. And I'll adjust
DaVinci
the audio
Resolve 20 is here, and it might just be one of the best updates to DaVinci Resolve we've had in some time. I'm talking a proper full-size keyframe editor on both the cut pages and the edit pages, an improved UI when you're working with vertical videos, animated
the vertical
captions.
video layout is what I'm really excited about too, because I edit in vertical video.
Yes, something you've all been asking for quite some time. AI beat detection, a proper music retiming,
cool.
re-lengthening
right within
function.
Usually I would have to do that within, I would leave DaVinci, go to Adobe Audition, and that can do it right there, and then make the extended version of the music file, and then import it into
even
DaVinci.
better magic masks, plus
Magic
a whole
masks.
selection of really clever AI tools. It really is a big update, ladies and gents. Now, it has only just been announced. I'm currently in a hotel room.
Okay, so yeah, he went a really quickly brief overview of what, but there's like everything here. You guys can see he's got everything time stamped. So go check him out. I've been watching Mr. Alex Tech videos. I even use his plugins for graphic design or animation. He's got the what's it called? Magic Animate plugin for DaVinci Resolve, which is amazing. It's like the best way to animate any kind of image file. So go check that out. Okay, so we're done with DaVinci Resolve Studio. Blackmagic Cloud, interesting. Now you can build your own backup rack. The new Pix is 12K. The deck link IP, 2110 IP is also another interesting thing for sending HDMI or 4K video through the network. That's more for like broadcast stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, there's some new devices there. I think 12K can even handle 12G can even handle 8K maybe. I don't know. The new HyperDeck Shuttle 4K Pro. Now it's got a screen on there. Before it didn't have a screen, so that's pretty cool. Now you can actually see. You don't have to hook it up to an external monitor. IP converters, you can see that there. The video hub, that's new. Blackmagic streaming encoder, decoder. Oh, look at this. So yeah, this is also for like broadcast as well. The decoder, encoder. And I'm getting more into this recently. I actually like $895 is kind of steep, but there are like other alternatives that are even more expensive. So I went with something that's a little more cost efficient. It's like 180 instead of 895. I haven't tested it yet. It's supposed to arrive. If not, it has already gotten here. But basically, it's an encoder decoder. So what you do is you put this on the network. You put your feed on the network, and you can pick it up, retrieve it from anywhere as long as it's the same network, and put it onto a TV or monitor or whatever. The ATEM Mini Extreme ISO G2, that is one of my favorite bit of news. I was talking about this earlier with the ATEM Mini stuff. This is insane. This is like a big thing in a small package. So I normally use at work, I use for the Blackmagic Television Studio 4K8. The ATEM Television Studio, ATEM Television 4K8 or something like that. And it's similar to this, but it's bigger. All right, let's go to the big guy. So that's the big one right there. That's the new one. It's the G2. So I originally was looking for an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO because of the 8 inputs, the multiple HDMI outputs, so I can send HDMI video feeds out to 2 additional ones. So I can have one for my multi-view and one for the program view that I can send out to maybe another streaming hardware. So there's that. But then this thing just got packed with some features. Where is it? Powerful live switcher with 8 HDMI inputs, built-in streaming engine, multi-view Thunderbolt for record and playback, USB webcam, DVE, chroma key media player, ISO recording of all 8 video inputs. So the biggest things are the additional. So there's an additional HDMI. So there's 3 HDMI outputs, and then there's actually 3 Type-C USB ports, which are, and it's got full-size XLR inputs. It's got the MADI in, so you can add an additional like 4, 8, 12 channels of audio inputs, microphone inputs, using the MADI in, and you can buy these microphone boxes. They're like 4. There's 4 inputs in each, and then you can just keep adding them, daisy chaining them up until you get like. Because here on the ATEM Mini, let me show you what this looks like real quick. ATEM software control. So my ATEM is on the network, so I can actually access this from anywhere. And you can see that here we have our camera 1 audio. You can see our audio coming in. Camera 2 audio, 3, and laptop audio. Microphone 1 and microphone 2. So with the new switcher, or even like the bigger switchers, mostly with the new one with the MADI in, you'll see like an insane number of an insane number of channels, right? This just has an audio channel for each HDMI input, right? So right now we're getting it from camera 1 because my microphone is connected to the camera here, and it's not connected to any of these mic channels because those are 3.5 millimeter inputs. So that means this is an XLR microphone. I cannot connect it directly into the ATEM. I would have to connect it to another, like the camera here, and that way I can still control the audio from within the ATEM software. Another way the way I was doing it before was I had an additional mixer that I would connect to. Then the mixer I would connect to the ATEM, and it would come in through one of these mic channels. But I'm like, I was building a much more smaller footprint setup. So I eliminated the mixer, connected the microphone directly to the camera, and then send the audio feed through the HDMI. So that's what's going on here. And so if I turn this, if there's this thing where, and that's why it shows left and right, but you can hear me coming in on both ears, both speakers, left and right. If I were to, and it's only connected to one channel, there's 2 inputs, XLR inputs on the camera, but it's only connected to one. So if I did not split camera 1, it would only come in on one side. So now you're hearing me only on the right side, so that it's just an additional feature that you get from these from Blackmagic. So really cool how you can set everything up perfectly for whatever you need. Okay, so anyways, that's that. That's the ATEM switcher. There's a bunch of new updates as well. Aside from that, you can actually send. So what I would do to get, you see that I don't think I could show you. Can I show you? I can't show you. I was gonna try to show you the multi-view, which with the new update I could, but when I updated the ATEM to the latest update, it was really, really buggy. So then I reverted it back. But yeah. I'm sending audio from this laptop through the HDMI over to input. Go back in there. So over to the laptop input, right, through the HDMI. So that's how you're getting laptop audio. So if I were to play something like, let me go back. I'll just keep playing that video. In
Vegas, just ahead of NA.
But you'll see the levels are still going, and it's coming in through the HDMI on this channel, right? So that's just the audio, but also I've got the HDMI into this channel in the input 4 on the switcher. But with the new ATEM switcher, the G2, you actually get you can actually put 2 feeds into one Thunderbolt USB. You can send 2 feeds into the switcher, 2 video feeds from the laptop. So it's as if you had, my understanding is it's as if you had 3 monitors on the laptop, and you can send 2 of those monitors over to the switcher with one Thunderbolt USB port. And then you can also send a video feed from that same port over to your laptop. So it's like, it's back and forth, simultaneous data being passed. So that's very, very interesting. And then the other 2 USBs, one can be for recording the ISO, but then it's also now there's an SD card slot, not an SD, like a CF Express card slot, I believe. Let's see, that's the smaller one. Nope. Just show me the one I want to see. Another reason why I want the bigger one too is because of the boxes having SuperSource. SuperSource is really cool. I like SuperSource. I started using SuperSource at my latest gig, and I really like it. And it's good for like remote guests and stuff like that. I kind of have like set up a SuperSource here with macros. So like if I had a guest on camera 3, so if I had another computer plugged into the third input, HDMI input, and then I can do like let me see, where is it? I can do like a SuperSource where I have my box, but then also the laptop feed of the person or whatever camera source, whatever HDMI source. I created that with macros, and so it's technically it's a downstream key or upstream key, and that's tech. Okay, cool. So we'll go back here. So that's SuperSource. SuperSource is awesome. I like SuperSource. You actually got knobs for audio instead of buttons. You got macro buttons up there, which is fine. You got the improved buttons. I like these buttons over these the soft rubber ones. I like these buttons much better. They're hard. I don't know. I feel like you can actually feel you're like pushing it down, kind of like one of those old school keyboards. I like that feel versus like the soft rubber one. It's got a fader for the transition instead of nothing. The bigger one has a like a T knob or whatever it's called. So here, it also has 10G Ethernet port. So it's got a regular 1G Ethernet port, gigabit Ethernet port, and now it has a 10 gigabit Ethernet port for all of that, like sending the HDMI or sending video over the data over the network. So that's really, really cool too. So like video over IP or something like that. So here it is again. Transitions for fader, 4 upstream keys. So 4 upstream keys is pretty cool. Oh, you've got the 2 media players. And one media player can handle, I think, like 160 frames of animation, which is also cool. So that's stuff like motion graphics. So like something like this. Is it gonna show? Did it show? I can't see the actual feed. Let me go back to it. Yeah, for stuff like this, you can actually do this within ATEM. I'm using a third-party site for these motion graphics. So stuff like all of this stuff, you can do this within, ATEM as well. But I like doing it through this third-party software or website. It's much easier. Instead of having to create everything, they create it for you. All you gotta do is just make some changes, and you can actually activate it as long as you have a Stream Deck. Audio expansion. This is what I was talking about. Audio expansion. You can get one of these ATEM microphone converters that plug into the MADI input. It gives you an additional 4 XLR inputs, and then the converter itself has another MADI input, so you can connect another one. You can daisy chain them up to like 32, I believe. Let me see what it says here. It doesn't tell you exactly. Oh, here it says 1 through 16. So maybe up to 16. So you can do 1. So you have your 2, then you get another 4, then another 4, and another 4, and then 2. Huh. Maybe this is just the MADI inputs. So an additional 4, right? 4 units. And then maybe the other 2 XLR inputs are separate. Or here's the camera inputs, MADI inputs. Oh, here's XLR. Here's the external audio. So you got XLR1 and XLR2. What is this? TB? I don't know what TB is. TB. Oh, TalkBack. TalkBack. So that's the TalkBack. You got TalkBack now on an A10 Mini for talking to your camera operators. So I like doing stuff within like this. I set a limiter and compressor on the ATEM. So where are we at? So here, oh, it's not on. Did it go away? Maybe I didn't save it. Oh, I probably didn't save it. Let me check over here. Yeah, it's not there. It probably didn't save. So what I do is I go in here on my channel, because sometimes I can talk loud or soft. And I can go in here and turn on the compressor, turn on the limiter. I can change this. I normally compress around 4:1, and then the threshold I'll probably bring it down so that like if I'm talking pretty low, I still want you guys to be able to hear me as if I was still talking at the same level. So let's see right there. How's that sound? Oh, we got to set up the gain. Set up the gain right there. Maybe right there. There we go. So I'm talking low and it's still sounding looking pretty good. So I look at the levels. I can't hear anything. So now because of the gain, the makeup, now we're gonna hit pretty high. So then I set the limiter. I set the limiter. So then I start talking loudly and then kind of see where I want to max out at. And then now I can talk pretty soft, and it's still coming in pretty loud, or I can talk loud and it's not clipping or anything like that. So this is why I wanted to move the audio over to here instead of a mixer, like a separate mixer, because I like being able to control everything remotely. I actually have this pulled up on my laptop here, and it's also pulled up on the actual device that the ATEM is actually connected to. So that's that. So I like the controls. Having it within one program is awesome. I don't like the fact that there's no XLR inputs on the ATEM. So if I really I first need to set levels on the camera, make sure the levels are good on the camera, and then I can check the levels on the ATEM through the software control. So what else is on here? Real-time video processing software. So apparently you can be recording on the ATEM, and editors can start editing all at the same time while you're recording. So that's pretty interesting, according to Grant, the CEO of Blackmagic. So the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO G2 is $2,195. I thought it was like $2,000. Maybe they raised it because of the tariffs. So $2,200. Still, it's a great device. For something like this, something with these that has these features. Let me show you what. So this one's 2,200, right? Or 2,195. Let's say we go to the higher end stuff, ATEM production switchers. So you got the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO G2. And then these ones, look at the cheapest one here, the HD8 is $4,000. Dang, these prices went up. Wow. This used to be $4,000. Now this is $4,000. The HD8 used to be $4,000. The 4K8 was like $5,000, I think. But they went up like crazy, probably because of the tariffs. I know there was talks about that. But for something like the ISO G2, you're looking at this one here, the HD8 ISO. So this has everything that the G2 has. I don't know about the 10G though. I'm not sure about the 10G Ethernet, but This is what I use on a daily basis, and it's a great switcher. I like it a lot. It's got a lot more buttons, a lot more physical buttons, so there's less you need to do within the software. So that's that. So, but essentially, you're getting this in this package here, and it's only $2,195. So just my 2 cents. All right, so let's see what else Blackmagic gave us. We've got something scanner. Some kind of 8mm and 60mm scanner. Accessories for the Blackmagic Pixis Pro handle. That's pretty cool. Now it's kind of like a camcorder. So you got the viewfinder on the handle at the back, and you've got the grip on the side. So it turned it kind of like into like a broadcast camera or a camcorder or whatever. What did I talk about? I did not talk about the update. So let's go here. We'll go to cameras. Blackmagic camera 9.5. This is probably one of the biggest updates that Blackmagic has announced for this last announcement. So, Blackmagic camera 9.5, the firmware. This is for the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. But it's only for this camera, but it kind of tells us like where Blackmagic could be going with this. Well, at least I'm speculating, because I'm still dreaming for the day that my pocket camera has autofocus, continuous autofocus. So it adds a beta support for phase detection autofocus. Adds beta support for continuous autofocus. Adds beta support for object tracking autofocus. Adds beta support for facial recognition and tracking autofocus. Excuse me. Adds support for using camera as a webcam for UVC device. That already has it on my camera. Media pool browser is already on my camera. Clips for deletion, it's already on my camera. Blackmagic Cloud is already on my camera. Direct uploads to DaVinci Resolve projects. I don't know if that's on my camera or not. I gotta check. Adds ability to update and manage camera via Ethernet. That's interesting. Adds REST control API for remote control as login. Okay, so the biggest thing is the autofocus, the continuous autofocus. Like, I think our limiter needs to get adjusted a little bit more. But like the biggest thing is that autofocus. Wow. Like phase detection, continuous autofocus, face tracking, object tracking. Wow. In a Blackmagic camera. Really, honestly, that's the only thing Blackmagic cameras were missing. Blackmagic has, in their cameras, they have amazing image quality. Beautiful, beautiful color science. You put a good lens in front of that sensor, it's just amazing. Good dynamic range. This camera here doesn't have very good dynamic range. That's why I'm wearing a black hat instead of a white hat, because the white gets overexposed, but then my skin tones are not exposed properly. So if I were to bring down the exposure on the hat, so it's before it clips, then my skin tones drop down to like 50 IRE, which is fine for log, but not fine for Rec 709. So oh god, what was I talking about? So I wear the black hat, and that way I can get my skin tones to where like around 70 IRE, where they need to be. Good dynamic range in those cameras, but the autofocus, I mean, it's got autofocus, but it's like one-shot autofocus. And it's okay. It's not the greatest. But now with phase detection autofocus and continuous autofocus, we actually have something that can compete with like a Sony FX6 or something like that, you know. So that's really exciting news. I'm really excited about that. Probably my favorite news for this past announcement. And with that, guys, let me know what you thought was interesting about this last Blackmagic announcement. I think Blackmagic is an amazing company, helping independent filmmakers create stuff, to put it out there and to live their dreams. And so thanks for hanging out with me again. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Tomorrow I'll probably do a stream in the afternoon or late morning because I have an appointment first thing in the morning. So I'll see you guys, and I will catch you when I catch you. Where's my MP1? Here we go. And then MP1 is set. So yeah, hold on. All right, guys, peace. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Bye bye.